Hey everyone, Ben from Snowboard Gamer. I hope you're having a great week. It is Saturday and I've got my Longhorn gear on because it is Texas OU Day. I'm excited for that game. But first, let's go through our top 5 games that we played in September of 2018. Every month I do a summary video where I go through our top 5 games that we played the previous month. So let's get right into it. Number 5 is a game called 5 Tribes. 5 Tribes is for 2 to 4 players, ages 13 and up, and plays in 40 to 80 minutes. In 5 Tribes, you've got this really interesting mechanic where you set up a grid of 5x6 squares with all these different powers on it, and you drop 3 meeples out of a bag on each square, and there's 5 different colored meeples. Each meeple has a different power, and on your turn, you pick up all the meeples from one square and you move around and drop them off on other squares, and the last square you land on has to have that colored meeple, and then you take all the meeples of that color and then do whatever its power is, which can get you points. They can help you buy these cards, which are also worth points. If you clear a tile out, you put your camel on it, which then gives you some points. So there's all these different ways to score points on it, and it's such an interesting mechanic, one I haven't seen in any other game. We really enjoy 5 Tribes. Number 4 is a social game called The Resistance. And I've talked a lot about Secret Hitler on this channel. We played The Resistance a ton until it was replaced by Secret Hitler. And I think we got so burned out on Secret Hitler that now we're starting to play The Resistance some again. In The Resistance, you have a government that is corrupt and a band of the resistance trying to overthrow the government. The government has deployed spies to try and thwart out the resistance. So you split into 2 teams. At the beginning of the game, everyone gets dealt a secret identity card. You're either a member of the resistance or a spy from the government. Everyone closes their eyes. The spies open their eyes so they know who each other are, but the resistance doesn't know who anyone is. So you're trying to go on certain missions to overthrow the government, but you're trying to not get a spy on the team because all it takes is one spy to be able to fail the mission. It's a really fun social game. We play it with the Hidden Agenda expansion, which is essentially the same game as the Resistance Avalon. So if you're looking to just buy one thing, go get Resistance Avalon. It's the same game, which is more of a King Arthur theme to it instead of government overthrow and spies. If you want that one, get the Resistance, but I recommend getting the Hidden Agenda expansion with it. Number 3 in September was Scythe, The Rise of Fenris. We started our campaign. We're 2 games into it now, really enjoying this 8-game campaign, which is the final expansion for the game Scythe. It's for 1 to 5 players, or 7 if you have the Invaders from Afar expansion, ages 12 and up, and plays in 1 to 2 hours. The first one took a long time because there's a whole storyline that you read through, and setting up the first game took a little bit longer. The actual gameplay of Scythe, if everyone knows what they're doing, can really be about an hour. Our second game only took an hour to play. I don't know what it is about Scythe. You know what I think it is? I think it's the engine building aspect that I like so much of the game. The conflict, not my favorite part of the game, but being able to take the different actions and upgrade the payouts of those actions is such a unique concept, and I love it. So if you haven't played Scythe, I highly recommend you check it out. If you're intimidated by the look of the game, you can go grab it on Steam and learn all the rules on the computer. I just started tinkering with that this week. It looks like it's pretty well implemented there. Number 2 of last month is a game called Coup. This is made by the same company that made The Resistance, and instead of team-based, it's individual-based. Everyone gets dealt 2 cards in front of them, face down. You are influencing those 2 people on the high courts of the government. But there are 5 different characters, and on your turn, you can take any of the 5 actions. But if you take an action that's not one of your characters, and someone calls you out on it, then you get busted and you're out of the game. But if you call someone out and they actually do have one, then you're out of the game. Well, you're not actually out of the game. You just lose one of your 2 influence, but if you're down to your last one, then you would be out of the game. It's a 15-minute game for ages 13 and up and for 2 to 6 players. This is a great, quick one, easy to pull out on a lunch break, or if you just have 15 to 30 minutes to kill. We enjoy Coup a lot. And we haven't played it in a while, and we pulled it back out this month and had some good plays on it. I did a spotlight in episode 60, so if you want to hear more about that game, go check that out. Our number 1 played game last month is Space Base. This is kind of our new crush right now. It's for 2 to 5 players, ages 14 and up, and plays in about 60 minutes. Space Base is kind of like Machi Koro, but way better in my opinion. The idea of these types of games is you roll your dice on your turn. And then depending on what you roll, you get certain resources. Other people may get resources too. And then there's some cards in the middle that you can buy. And as you buy cards, you potentially get more and more things whenever your numbers are rolled. So there's an element to luck in it, but what Space Base does well is counteracts the element of luck that Machi Koro brings with it. On Space Base, you get a payout for every single card on your turn, no matter what. Everyone starts with cards numbered 1 through 12. And then when you buy cards, you upgrade it. So let's say I buy a number 4 card, I put it in my 4 slot, and the card that was in 4, I slide partially under my board, and there's a little red thing that sticks out. So now I get a payout of 1 coin whenever anyone rolls a 4. And as you buy more and more cards, you can build up your tableau and decide, am I gonna go all on the lower numbers? Because those are actually rolled more often than the higher numbers. Why is that? Because whenever a 9 is rolled, for example, if you rolled a 4 and a 5, you could take the 4 and the 5, or you could take the 9. And the higher numbers generally have a better payout, but you can get more sometimes if you take the 4 and the 5, depending on which cards you purchase. So Space Base has a lot more going on to it than Machi Koro, which is just a straight buy a card and then get that whenever it's rolled. I really like Space Base. I'm gonna be looking to spotlight that here in a few weeks, so stick around for that. But that was our number 1 of last month. That's it for this month's top 5 list. What games are you playing? I would love to hear about them in the comments below. I really enjoy chatting with board games about all of you guys. Thanks for everyone who leaves comments and likes the videos. That really helps. I appreciate it. I'll be doing another top 5 list for October's games next month. Thanks everyone, and we'll see you soon. Bye.